Hey guys, and welcome back to the ranch, and welcome to the video about 10 things I hate/dislike about Switzerland. These 10 things, they're in no way in any particular order, so it's not like the first one's what I hate the most or the last one is which one I dislike the least. It's just the way they came to my mind. So let's get started. First off, what I hate is the physical size. Now, what do I mean by that? Switzerland is roughly the size of the state of Maryland. It is tiny compared to other countries in the world and other locations in the world. And if you look at the map here, now you can see this is Switzerland, and now down here in the shaded area or colored area, these are the Swiss Alps. So you don't live there, or rather you can't live there because there is no space. They're high Alps, a lot of rocky cliffs, glaciers, stuff like that. So basically you can either live to the north of that or to the south of that, but not where the Alps is. So we lose a huge portion of Switzerland just because of the Alps, which makes everything a lot smaller again. Case in point, the average home size here is about 99 square meters. That would be roughly 165 square feet. That isn't too large, and that is probably what you can really afford over here due to pricing, but that's another topic. Now, another thing you can really see how small it is by the size of the parking spaces. Now, my wife's car is a Chevy Malibu, which is a mid-size sedan. As you can see, it barely fits into a somewhat standard size parking spot. Now the issue is the parking spots in Switzerland have been normed back in 1970 for 1970s cars. These norms have never been updated, and they don't want to update them because cars aren't getting bigger or anything, right? So, but here's an even better example of the issue I have. I took this snapshot once while I was shopping, and you see this beautiful, I think it's about a 2015 F-150. And if it wouldn't be parking in backwards with the bed hanging over the greenery in the back, it would have no chance in heck to be able to fit in there. And it barely does. I mean, look, the front's hanging over. So if you like to drive a full-size SUV, a full-size truck, or even a full-size sedan, you're going to have a lot of trouble here in Switzerland. Not just lengthwise, but also widthwise. Most parking structures are too small to accommodate normal-size vehicles. Even if you find a place where you can rent a garage or a parking spot, you're going to be climbing through very narrow door openings, or do it the way I did when I still had the Trans Am. I left the T-tops off, put the window down, and just climbed out over. That was the easiest way to get in and out. Another thing is about the physical size is, since, as I said before, we lose a lot of space through the Alps, we cram everything together. Now, here are a few shots from my balcony where I live. I'm up on the first floor, and no matter which direction I kind of pan when I look out, basically the only thing I see are other houses. Now if I go up a floor, I'll see a bit over those houses, but I'll still see mainly houses. Now if I look out of my office window, or my bedroom window, or the kitchen window, or at the back of the house going down the staircase, it's the same thing. You always see something. There's no place in this country where you can go and just stare out into the abyss, basically, or as far as it goes till the curvature of the earth makes it impossible to see what's there. No, you're either going to hit some kind of structure or you're going to hit a mountain, and that's just very claustrophobic for me. Number 2 on the list is it is not very DIY friendly at all. It's very hard to come by DIY material. I mean, yes, we have Home Depot-like places here. We have other kind of home centers so you can get stuff, but it's very limited as to what you can get and what type of stuff you can get. You can just see that by the type of space plumbing we have. For example, under my kitchen sink, I've never seen a space plumbing type structure like that. I have no idea how to take that apart. It's not a standard plumbing of a kitchen sink like you would think of. It's some new modern fangled Euro crap, which makes it very hard. And not just getting the supplies are hard, even if you want to do it, As I said, things are made extra complicated over here, and they don't want you to be able to do it. That's the main fact. Switzerland is a country where you pay someone to do it. If you're outside working on your own stuff, people look at you very weird. Believe me, if you're changing your own tires from summer to winter, they look at you strange, okay? Even though that's an easy task. If you're doing your own oil change, they'll look at you even weirder. If you were like me and you kind of did your winterization preparations on your truck because you had a Chevy and you know they tend to rust, so you took care of the rocker panels and all that stuff, and you had the car up on jack stands and halfway dismantled and everything, they looked at you like you were working on a freaking spaceship. So it is not DIY friendly at all. Next up on my hate/dislike list is the lack of selection. You have a small selection of basically everything, be it foods, be it other goods, be it brand names. Just look at this picture of my grocery store, and it's a larger, decent sized grocery store of our cereal aisle. These here cereals that you see are all the types of cereals that you can get in Switzerland. Not including, you know, the off-brand ones that just are repeating the name brand ones, but those are all the types of cereals. No Lucky Charms, no Apple Jacks, no good tasting Fruit Loops, because we have all natural crap that tastes like cardboard. But yeah. It's very hard to get stuff. Selection is very small. Same if you go again to the home center. Half the stuff that you know from the US you will not find here. They don't even know what a pocket screw is. If you're trying to get a pocket screw jig or something like that, or pocket screw for the pocket screw jig, they're not going to know what it is. Show them a picture and they'll be like, oh my god, mind blown, but that's it. So that's very bad, and that's one of those things that really drives me freaking insane over here. On to number 4 on the list is actually the shop opening hours. You can probably tell most of my things kind of hang together, like one of them flows into the other. But next is the shop opening hours. You might be used to a super Walmart, open 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. We don't have that here. You might be used to a store that is open on Sunday. We don't have that here. Open on a holiday? We don't have that here. Open late in the evenings? Semi-late, if you consider 7 late on most of the days. So most of our stores are, let's say grocery stores, are open from 8 to like 7 Monday through Thursday. Friday they might have the late opening day where they're open till 8 or 9 depending. And that is also something that's regulated from each canton, can be different. There's no nationwide regulation for this. And Saturdays where I live, the stores are open from 8 till 5, and then they don't open again till Monday the next week at 8 in the morning. So if you forgot to buy something, you're SOL. I'm sorry, that's the way it is here. Everything shuts down. So you can imagine how it is before a holiday, how people shop like there is no tomorrow, and how many people there are in the stores then. And why do you ask? Because everything always has to be done on a Saturday. The majority of the people work Monday through Friday here, so they're going to have to rush in on Saturday to get all the stuff done that they need. But since everything closes, you have to hurry and you got to do everything else, because you're not just going to the grocery store, you got to go to the hardware store, which might have something you need or doesn't. You need to go to the clothing store, and most of the other stuff also closes. And if you want to go during the week, here's another thing that really irks me. This is probably not just Switzerland specific, but is all the people that are retired, old, unemployed, or housewives or whatever, who could go any time of the day shopping. When do they go shopping? They go shopping from 4 p.m. till the stores close. They can't go from the morning till anything else when they would have time. No, they have to go then when the people are coming home from work and they actually want to go buy stuff. So that really annoys the crap out of me. But yeah, that's why I try to avoid all those hours. which makes it really difficult because at some point you gotta shop. And that was basically also number 5 with the lots of people everywhere. It's always jam-packed in Switzerland, no matter where you go. Yes, we have a population of something over 8 million. And they're always everywhere. You can never go to a store, especially not on a weekend, and expect it to be peaceful and quiet and just to be able to browse. No, there's so many people. They're there with families. Then they're standing in the middle of the walkway talking with other families, blocking everything. You can't get through with your shopping cart. When you ask them to move, they look at you like you're a freaking idiot. Like, why the you have to go through here? And you're like, dude, you're in the way. Just move. But that's just how Swiss are. They're just so annoying. I'm sorry, it is the truth. And they are everywhere. And to prove my point, I went shopping last Friday. I had off. We went to the biggest grocery store in our canton. It was 1:30 in the afternoon, and these pictures I took over by the fruit and vegetables section, and you can just see how many people are there, and that's at 1:30 in the afternoon. It just gets worse as the day goes on, and Saturdays you can just take at least 5 times as many people there, and that throughout the whole store, not just in that section, they're everywhere. I lived in the US, I lived in bigger cities, near bigger cities in the US. I even lived, in Florida, where it's kind of vacation town in summertime with a lot of people there. I never seen so many people in a Jewel Osco, in an Albertsons, in a Publix, anywhere like that. Only over here, and it drives me completely insane. Now, going on to number 6. You think, why don't we just change some of those things that I've been complaining about, right? Well, the thing is, Swiss people are extremely narrow-minded and they don't really think that far, and they're just sometimes really, really stupid. Yes, I can say that because I am Swiss, and no, I don't count myself toward the stupid part, even though sometimes I might be, but not in this particular situation. We get to vote on things like opening hours, if we want to change them. They voted on this in one of the cantons I lived in previously 3 times already in my lifetime that I can remember. I'm 33. Every time they voted no against it. Why? Because we have so many old people in Switzerland. We have more old people than young people. And when I say old people, it's over 55 and above, which vote for stuff like that and say, no, we don't need it because we didn't have it when we were young and it also worked. But guess what? We have over 8 million people now. When you were young, there were like 1.3 million. Big difference. And that is just the attitude against everything new or everything that should change. Why do we need it? It worked before. I'm like, yes, but times change. Same thing with expanding the parking spaces for the larger vehicles. Vehicles get larger, they get wider, they get longer, they get safer. What do they do over here? They classify it every time for, do you want to do it for the SUVs? And then the Swiss person says, why are you driving an SUV? You don't need to be driving no SUV over here. We don't need no SUVs. You know what? If we have to make it bigger and you're driving an SUV, you should pay for that. That's how the Swiss are. I'm sorry. Swiss are freaking stupid. They want you to be running around with a horse and buggy, and even then they'd be like, you don't need no buggy, you can just ride a damn horse, it's enough for you. I'm like, you know what? Screw you. If I want to drive a big ass dually, I'll drive a big ass dually. You got that? But the thing is, they don't get it. They are very narrow-minded, very closed off, very slow, and very stupid. But that's just a gripe I have with them, and that's how they're going to slowly kill themselves over here. But that's just the way it is. And another thing, Switzerland always thinks that it's just us here, and everything that we do for us stops exactly at the borders. Remember the Simpsons movie when they brought the big glass dome and dropped it over Springfield? Yeah, we got a big glass dome around Switzerland if you haven't noticed. Because all our rules and regulations, they're so tight here on everything. Certain things I agree on, they're good. You know, it's for the environment, you gotta do it. But when you're having countries around you which do not do the exact same thing as you, and you're the size of Maryland and you're squished in between Germany, France, Italy, and Austria, it doesn't matter. Number 7. They are very car enthusiast unfriendly. Now, myself, I'm a car guy, I'm a truck guy, okay? I love my cars, I love my trucks. I love working on them, I love modifying them, and I love driving them, okay? And no, I don't need the newest, I don't need the best. I'd rather drive a 1955 Chevy pickup than a brand new Mercedes AMG, whatever the crap they call those damn things. But over here, we have, again, rules and regulations for everything. You can't modify your car. You can't tune your car. Everything has to be inspected all the darn time. If you want to change the rims on your car, you have to go to the DMV and have them inspected, and you have to have the piece of paper from the manufacturer of the rim who says, yes, we comply with this, that, and the other, and we crashed so many times this rim into this wall to make sure that it would hold, and blah, 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 blah. You can't even put a brush guard on the outside of your truck, because that's bad. I mean, you might hurt a pedestrian when you run him over. Never mind that in a 2500 HD, the hood like ends here, so who cares if I got a brush guard on or not? I'm sorry, the pedestrian's going to be toast either way. So it makes it very hard. They do not like old cars. They do not like modified cars. They just want you to buy a new car every 2 to 3 years so you don't even have to go through inspection and just pay a heap load of money. Because guess what? I like American cars. I like big engines. But because I like that, I got to pay a lot more road taxes than somebody with a smaller engine, because a big engine car uses more of the road surface than a small engine car. Yeah, that sounds about right, doesn't it? Okay, here comes one of my biggest gripes, is probably how overpriced Switzerland is. Okay, yes, we have high salaries here in Switzerland, but only a small percent of us really has high salaries where you can say, I can live comfortably, spend whatever I want in Switzerland and not have to think about what I'm spending. Most of us are the same like in any other country. You get by. You may be able to save a bit at the end of the month, but you generally get by, but you can't buy whatever you want to all the time. Now, I made this little list quickly. I looked at a couple items in the store last Friday just for you guys to look and see how much that it actually costs over here. I went with today's conversion rate where 1 franc is $1.03. I based it off of that. So, item number 1, 1 gallon of whole milk. Now, the picture you see is for 1 liter of whole milk being 1 franc and 55 rappen. That is our currency over here. I inflated it to a gallon, which is 3.78 liters. That would make 5 francs and 85 rappens for the liter. Now, if we convert that into dollars, that makes it $6.03 per gallon of milk. That is regular whole milk, not organic, not lactose free or anything else special, just regular whole milk. Next item on the list is bread. I chose a loaf of white toast bread, we call it over here. It's the closest that I could find that will represent a loaf of bread that you can also find in the US, because we eat a lot of different types of breads, less like the Americans do. That loaf of bread is 730 grams, which is 1.6 pounds. We pay 2 francs and 90 rappen for that bread. That equivalates to $3 for said loaf of bread. Now, I'm not sure how much those loaves of bread in the US are. I just remember last when I was there, you could still get them for like 99 cents, the big white ones. We don't get those over here. Next, an all-time favorite is 1 kilogram of banana. Yes, I know you guys buy them by the pound. We got the metric system here. So get over yourself, America. Metric is better. So 1 kilo of banana is 2 francs and 60 rappen. So that's 2 pounds of banana in the US, which is $2.68. Last time that I saw some ad floating around was for like 59 cents for 1 pound of banana. Then probably the worst that I could find is Dr. Pepper. Yes, I like Dr. Pepper. And no, we only get it in the small half-liter bottles. No idea how many fluid ounces it is, do the conversion yourself. Or the regular soda cans. So, 6-pack of Dr. Pepper, 9 francs and 60 rappen equals $9.90. We have a winner! So that is definitely the most expensive and luxurious item on my list. But just so you kind of get an idea of how expensive certain items are. Yes, Coke is cheaper because we get Coke in the 2-liter bottles here also. But just to show you something that is a little bit higher in the price range. Now, something that you guys will also be needing on a regular basis, and so do we more and more, that is gasoline. So I looked at how much 1 liter of 87 octane gasoline costs. Over here it is called 95 octane because we look at different octane numbers than you do, but I can put a link in the description to Wikipedia which describes the difference for you, but 95 is 87. At today's filming, the gasoline price was 1 franc and 71 rappen per liter. Again, we got to multiply that by 3.78 to get up to 1 gallon, which brings us 6 francs and 46 rappen. Convert that to US dollars, $6.66 per gallon of gas. Granted, we have options, usually a little bit better options with public transportation than the US does, unless you live in a really big city, of course. However, public transportation costs a lot of money here also, and is also not always great. So if you still go by car, you still got to pay a lot of money. And diesel, of course, is more. Premium gasoline is even more. So, yes, that's one other thing here. So, Switzerland is 25 to 75% more expensive. Because as soon as I cross the border into, say, France, Italy, Germany, or Austria, I can get most of the items cheaper, especially food products, cleaning products, and clothes. Gas will be more expensive around us. Electronic devices, depends. But food is definitely cheaper in Germany than in Switzerland. Now, number 9, we're almost at the end of things that I hate/dislike, is the weather here in Switzerland. What I mean by that is the Alps screw you royally with the weather over here, because they can trap weather systems either to the north of the country or to the south of the country, which means if there's rain coming from the north, it'll get stuck at the Alps and just dump on the north half. That's where I live. And it'll be sunny down south, or vice versa. It also means that weather is very unpredictable here. So a 5-day weather forecast will change 4 times within those 5 days. So it's really hard to plan what's going to be in 5 days, because it's Monday, it'll show Saturday is sunny. By the time it's Friday, it's going to show Saturday is raining. And in between, it changed 3 times. Very annoying. Another thing is for somebody who is sensitive to weather changes. We have this thing called Föhn here. It's a phenomenon that only happens around the Alps, which is kind of low, high pressure systems. I don't know the technical term of it, but it can change the weather. Basically, when they say it should be pouring, and if that Föhn system stuff pulls up, the sun will be shining. But if you're, as I said, if you're sensitive to weather, you will feel it in your head. You'll have a headache, you'll have a migraine, and that happens very often between the seasons, so changing from one season to another. Me, who suffers from migraines, that's always fun because I get the full brunt of this crap all the time. So Switzerland isn't that nice and snowy like in the movies and the way you see it in TV. It's really crappy like everywhere else. And number 10, last but not least, paternalism. What do I mean by paternalism? Paternalism is when the government basically thinks that They should decide what is best for you. Yes, Switzerland loves to do that. They love to think what is best for our people, we'll just do it for them and not give them a choice. We have one thing going right now. Basically, it revolves around dash cams and crash recorders. Now, crash recorders, you can get them, you get a little bit of insurance deduction, stuff like that. Dash cams are pretty much a gray zone between being legal and illegal, because it's always the question of, well, is it filming something that's private or something that's public? And most courts will not even recognize dash cam material over here. So instead of just saying, okay, we'll legalize dash cam footage, which in my opinion would be great. You know, if you get into an accident, you got a dash cam and you see clearly the other person hit you for whatever reason, or that you hit someone, whichever way, but you know, you can prove it, that's great. But you know, just give the people the option to do it by themselves, like adults. If they want to, they can. If they don't want to, they don't have to. No, our government is now thinking about making it mandatory for everybody to have it in their vehicles. Why? Because apparently Swiss are not grown up enough to make such decisions themselves. Another big one is when the whole euro crisis started and the euro kept going down and the Swiss franc kept getting stronger, we were at a point where the conversion rate was less than 1 to 1. I mean, you got more euros for your franc where you exchanged at the bank. The Swiss National Bank decided, nope, that's not good. We're starting to buy euros to inflate the euro price back up again, and we're just going to hold it that way, and you're just going to have to deal with it. So yes, Switzerland loves to paternalize us, and I hate it. I think it's wrong. We're all grown-ups here. We should be able to decide what we want. If a company wants to go bankrupt or a country wants to go bankrupt, please let it do that. Stop paternalizing all of us. So guys, these are the 10 things that I hate and dislike about Switzerland. Now, to be in all honesty, there would have been a lot more that I could have talked about. I got so much over my lifetime, I didn't even know where to start and where to stop. I just picked those that I thought would be the most meaningful. I'm going to try to make a video about 5 or 10 things that I really like about Switzerland, like or love or something like that. So be on the lookout for that video. Please do leave me a comment below, rate this video, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, if you feel like it, of course. And I would really enjoy if you would subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Thanks a lot.